Good evening. So today my main purpose is to analyze how big RiWay's market really is. The company you're involved with, this place you're involved with, how big is its market? So what is a market? Let's see. It's a little small. According to the dictionary, it's a trading venue or a trading activity. Some might say, hey, does this product have a market? What does this mean? This means that, hey, this product.
Will anyone buy it?
It's about the behavior. Can it be sold? This kind of behavior is called, is there a market for it? So the word market doesn't necessarily mean a place. Hence the saying, where there are people, there's a market. Why? Because only humans buy things. Everything else doesn't buy anything. So only people buy things. Therefore, where there are people, there's a market. So let me ask, as human beings, our biggest market, what's the largest possible scope? Could it reach the moon? No, because there are no people on the moon. So how far can it go? Let's analyze. The largest it can go is the world. Our planet Earth. This world, right? This is our maximum potential that we can reach. Now, the market I'm talking about is the direct selling market. If we analyze the direct selling market, then it's definitely not just RiWay doing direct selling. There are many other competitors. Let's look at all other competitors combined. How much was actually done? Let's analyze. The World Direct Selling Association just released in 2024 the 2023 performance figures for the entire direct selling industry, minus RiWay's performance. How much is it? It's 168 billion US dollars. 12 digits, right? Yes, 12 digits. This is the current industry we're in, and its total achievement? I want to ask, is it big? Is it big? Do you know how many zeros? Well, at that point, it makes no difference, whether it's 10 zeros or 11 zeros. Doesn't really matter. It's an astronomical figure. So right now we should think, some say direct selling won't work. Are there people saying direct selling won't work? Before we joined direct selling, we were those people. Before I joined direct selling, I was that person. Direct selling won't work. When I was young, I watched my mom do direct sales. It won't work. I resisted it strongly. I was very opposed. Yet this won't work industry produces 12-digit annual revenue. Oh my God. It completely shatters our assumptions. Isn't that right? This is the combined total. So much. Here's what you'll realize. This is the global figure, the total worldwide. The world's total. So where is this world? If I want to expand globally, to take this business worldwide, where should I go? Where does this revenue actually come from? You'll notice that not every region has active direct selling. Not everywhere. Only certain places have strong direct selling. Broadly speaking, it's concentrated in 3 regions. Asia, Europe, and the Americas. How many continents are there in this world? How many continents are there in this world? Just 5? Do the Arctic and Antarctic count? Isn't Earth divided into 7? Arctic and Arctic, yes, they count. Both are continents. So, Americas, Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, right? Plus Antarctica and the Arctic. Now Africa? Australia, do they have it? Yes. But we need results. We need the data, right? Let's see, just these 3 major regions account for how much? Of the total revenue? First, Asia's share. Asia accounts for 40%. That's where you and I are standing right now. Europe takes 22%. Still a significant portion. And the Americas contributes 37%. Now grab a calculator. What's the total of these 3? 99%. Of that massive global figure, 99% comes from just these 3 regions. Of course, we can't use this to conclude that the other 2 regions are hopeless. We can't definitively say that, but it serves as a reference. Fair? Absolutely. Some spent 60, 70 years testing direct selling globally. Tried methods. Some worked, some failed. In the end, the data shows 99% comes from these 3 regions. So before diving deeper, let's examine the top 10 direct selling markets worldwide, ranked in order. Which countries make the list? We're strategizing for growth. We need to know, where are others? Already thriving? Curious? Let's look. Here's the list. World's top 10 direct selling markets. Number 1, the United States accounts for 22%. Number 2, Germany accounts for 12%. Number 3, South Korea accounts for 10%. Number 4, China accounts for 9%. Japan for 6%, Malaysia for 6%, Brazil for 5%, Mexico for 4%, France for 3%, Taiwan for 3%. At least made it into the top 10. Let's give a round of applause. Many people say about the market, hey, in Asia, Taiwan, Malaysia are known as direct selling kingdoms. Ever heard of that? It's absolutely true. They're both in the top 10, though these are relatively small places compared to other markets with very small populations, very limited areas, yet they directly rank in the top 10. Now, if we sum up these numbers, you'll notice just these 10 markets alone account for 80% of the entire direct selling industry. This means if you want to do direct selling today, based on this reference, you don't need to cover many places. Isn't that right? Just focus on these markets and it's sufficient. Where others have succeeded, we should be able to succeed too. Isn't that right? Can we say this? Of course, even where no one has succeeded yet, we could still do well, certainly. But proven markets are even better. What does this prove? It proves their policies, their cultures, and their people have an acceptable level of receptiveness to direct selling. We should take reference from this. All right. Let me analyze further. Let's take a closer look, specifically at Asia. Let's just look at Asia. Asia's top 5 markets. South Korea accounts for 25% in Asia. China accounts for 23%, Japan for 16%, Malaysia for 15%, Taiwan for 7%. In the entire Asian market, Taiwan contributes 7% of the performance, yet it's among the top 5. And these 5 countries alone in Asia, those 5 countries account for 86% of Asia's total performance. This is really worth studying, worthy of research. 86%, you see, there are over 10 in Asia doing direct sales, with more than 10 performing well. Yet these 5 alone account for 86%. Fortunately, RiWay is in all these 5. All right. Let's look at Europe. Europe's top 5 markets. Europe has over 40 countries. Asia also has over 40 countries. Earlier in Asia's over 40 countries. The top 5 among over 40 already account for 86%. So is Europe the same? Europe's top 5 direct sales markets are Germany, France, Italy, UK, Poland, ranging from 58% down to 3%. Germany alone accounts for 58% of the entire European market. Interested in Germany? I just returned from Germany. These 5 markets alone account for 87% of Europe. Among 40 countries. Among over 40 countries, the top 5 alone account for 87%. What about the US and the Americas? This is even more staggering. The top 3 markets in the Americas. USA, Brazil, Mexico. The Americas have many countries, yet the top 3 alone make up 86%. You'll realize to conquer this industry globally, we don't need to cover every market. You know why? On the world map, many notice, hey, RiWay is only in some regions. Hey, it is only in these few places. But look closely, these are the most critical markets. It's not about, wow, RiWay is everywhere. Africa, too. The North Pole, too. Russia alone is vast. So today we're really going to do this business of direct selling. If we want to truly penetrate the market, the reality is, if we can enter these 3 regions, then we've essentially reached the entire world. Don't you agree? Because as I just mentioned, these 3 regions already account for 99%. These 3 places are already 99% occupied. Let's take a look. This business of direct selling is from the United States. Back then, 20 or 30 years ago, the direct selling companies we worked with, the big ones, all came from the Americas. As we've mentioned before, whether in previous Win at RiWay sessions or in my greatest business opportunity of the century talk, as we've mentioned, what's the expansion path for most direct selling companies? Usually they start in the America, then expand to South America and North America, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Cuba, and so on. Once they've established a strong presence there, they move into Europe, especially the UK, since the language barrier is lower there. With language compatibility, they enter the UK, then gradually cover the entire European market. At the same time, they target Asia, looking for connected markets. They enter Asia, starting with Japan and the Philippines, regions with existing ties. From Japan, they move to Taiwan, then expand into Southeast Asia from Taiwan, because they need to leverage Taiwanese and Chinese networks to enter Malaysia. And once in Malaysia, the multilingual advantage helps them spread further, reaching Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, and beyond. Soon they cover all of Southeast Asia. After Southeast Asia, the final destination is mainland China. Everyone knows China's market is huge, right? But over the years, many major companies, when entering China, have struggled badly. Many failed spectacularly, lacking understanding of how business works there. For Chinese culture or practices, they didn't grasp, leading to many failures. Some persisted and survived today, and a few even thrived. But all went through a brutal learning process. These are all references we can learn from. Now let's look at RiWay. RiWay started in Asia. In Asia, we began in Singapore. I had to start from Singapore because I'm Singaporean. I could only start from there, just like you're Taiwanese, and would start from Taiwan. Why? Because in direct selling, there's a fundamental principle. You must first establish yourself in your local market. Start from your own territory first. And then, start from your own territory first. Build your capabilities there. If you want to expand elsewhere later, don't target too many places at once. Choose just one. Maximum 2 locations, only if you have full-time availability and sufficient time commitment. Then you can, otherwise, just focus on your local market first. Master the fundamentals. I'll elaborate on this later. But we often say this phrase, lock your territory. First secure and stabilize one location. Strengthen your capabilities there. Practice and refine locally. RiWay started in Singapore, because I'm Singaporean. Then we selected Malaysia as our next market because it's very close. Just 700 plus kilometers away, once written in a song. We first entered northern Malaysia, specifically Penang State. Penang State. There are several states in Malaysia. A small town in Penang is called Bukit Mertajam. From these 2 locations, Bukit Mertajam and Singapore, we launched our company. Back then, we only had 2 offices, one in Singapore and a tiny office. About the size of the stage. Let me visualize it. My desk here was about smaller than this stage, roughly 2/3 of it. We partitioned it into 2 rooms. This small room might be hard to be seen from afar, but when you're done, you can come up and take a look. From the TV to this tiny room, I had 2 desks here, a whiteboard. And when I gave talks, it could fit about 8 people. The other room was an office with 1 desk, cramming 3 people, including me. That's how we started with this humble setup. In Bukit Mertajam, we began in a coffee shop without even an office. Only after some progress did we open one. We opened one. RiWay's origin was this modest. When people ask, how did RiWay start? I say it started with 38 product samples. I remember them well. A few doctors that day. Through old industry connections, whom we met in the marketplace after a decade in direct selling, knew many products well. But back then, the moment I heard about this product, I immediately knew how to proceed. I had a clear vision. A group of doctors sat there, and I passionately convinced them, give me your product. I know how to make it work. That's how a few doctors started selling it in their clinics. Truly, that's how it began. At that time, this product was sold in very small quantities like this. Then I asked them, do you have samples? They said, yes. I said, give me whatever you have. Later, they had 38 bottles. RiWay started with these 38 free sample bottles. "38 bottles make 5 sets. Wait, no, not 5 sets, not 5 sets. 2 full sets plus some extra. Back then, 1 bottle contained 30 pills. 1 bottle had 30 pills. 38 bottles. It meant 14 bottles per set. So 28 bottles made 2 full sets with leftovers. The samples hadn't even arrived yet. But I'd already prepared the labels and packaging boxes. I made this myself. When the samples arrived, I immediately packed them, placed them in the boxes, and delivered them right away because I'd already pre-sold them. This was how we operated back then. Having an existing market presence meant we always had some customers. Who were these customers? Relatives. I always approached relatives first, because over all these years, through multiple business rebuilds and product changes, my relatives could never escape me. My second aunt, third aunt, fourth aunt, fifth aunt, sixth aunt, seventh aunt. Eldest uncle, second uncle. Eldest uncle, youngest uncle, you get the picture. So every time my car pulled up in front of their shops, the moment they saw me, they'd think that, oh no, he's back again. And they are going to spend money again. Because they knew there was no escaping it. They couldn't escape me. I would pursue them relentlessly. Not in a pestering way, mind you, but with determined persistence. I'd follow them constantly. When they served customers, I'd stand right beside them. If they went to the kitchen, I'd follow into the kitchen. Until they'd say, okay, just say what you want to say. After I made my pitch, they'd say, these days business is tough, no money. But I just kept following and following. Sometimes there were customers who genuinely couldn't take it anymore. They'd say, I need to work tomorrow, I need to sleep. Just to get rid of me, they'd lie in bed trying to sleep, while I sat by their bedside still pitching. Until finally they'd say, okay, all right, I'll buy. This kind of closing method, the truth is, when you finally close and walk out of their door, it feels incredibly satisfying. Actually, it's not just them suffering. We suffer too, right? Those of you in sales, you know this pain too, don't you? When people keep rejecting you over and over, it's truly painful. But you keep telling yourself, what? I recite my 5-word mantras. I have many 5-word mantras. During these moments, my go-to mantra: persist 5 more minutes. When I truly want to give up, when it seems hopeless this time, persist 5 more minutes. That's why I always tell customers, give me 5 more minutes, just 5. There's so much more I haven't told you yet. Really important stuff that matters to you. 5 minutes. Drags into half an hour, until they can't take it and try to kick me out. 5 minutes. Just give me 5 more minutes. Really just 5 minutes this time. Ends up stretching the whole appointment to 10 hours sometimes. This keeps happening. That's why when my relatives see me coming, oh no. But of course, I say this jokingly. Truth be told, through this process, our relationships actually became stronger. It's precisely because of this industry that I grew closer to them. Think about it. Someone who's never home during holidays. How good could their family ties be? That was me growing up. I never liked those superficial family gatherings. Just taking red packets and saying greetings. Then not even recognizing them afterwards. I hated that. Can't stand such shallow relationships. I don't like social niceties either. Not my thing. I really don't. If we bond, let's be real brothers. The kind who sit at coffee shops until sunrise. That's just who I am. But through direct selling, many of my relatives actually became truly close with me. So this naturally leads to my next upcoming topic about how to close deals. Stay tuned. Looking forward to it. In Jakarta. Come check it out when you're free. Show your support. Some I practically forced to buy. I remember my 7th aunt, Auntie 7, told me straight, I really have no money. I pushed her to that point. Yet she still borrowed money reluctantly. The look on her face, unbelievable. But what matters is what you do after. Do you agree? The aftermath is what counts. Them hating me in that moment didn't matter. Because I understood something crucial. I had to take specific actions. Afterwards, during our market visits, every single trip we made, I memorized every MRT station in Singapore, like the back of my hand. Whenever passing by, I'd bring fried chicken or sugarcane juice. These small gestures became routine. Extra efforts without ulterior motives. Just visiting to chat genuinely, repeatedly showing up to connect. Gradually, she saw my dedication, recognized my work ethic. Our relationship transformed. This is someone worth supporting. Didn't back the wrong person. The initial pressure faded from memory. Human memory is surprisingly forgiving. But if after pressuring the sale, you disappeared completely, if they later saw you quit, their disappointment would mirror yours. That's when they'd think, this relationship is truly ruined. Permanent damage occurs. But with my aunt eventually, when she saw me coming, they'll know. I'm going to support him again. This guy is supportable. All right. So 38 cans sold. We got paid, right? Buy more, sell more. Sell and buy again. Buy and sell again. And then I found someone to sell it with. Until today, RiWay. So if you compare, it should have been harder for us back then. Will it? It should have been harder. There are more selling points now. If we had a meeting like this back then, oh my God. No, there were only 3 people at that meeting. 4 people. The one who made the deal didn't show up. There were only 4 people. 2 of them slept before we even started talking. The other 2 will be affected too. Is that right? You can't imagine that kind of situation. If you were standing over there, when you're talking to them, you'd feel that feeling of despair. You'd feel desperate. It's not just a lack of confidence. It's a sense of despair. That's why you have a picture. We've had this experience before. We know. We choose to start over. We choose to start from scratch. It's our choice. We don't have to make that choice. I'm going to make this choice for myself. I'm making this choice. Why am I making this choice? To take the harder road and start from scratch. Why am I making this choice? Do you know why? Do you know why? Just to tell you this story today. To show you, that's fine. Not now. You just bring anyone here, 2 or 3 people to share. 1 person to tell a testimony. 1 person tells a success story. 1 person will give a product testimonial. Do you agree? I don't dare to say it's 100% done, but it's at least 30%, right? At least, if you can find a way to borrow from this side. And this is just a small part of RiWay. Let me tell you, not to mention the whole big RiWay today. So it's if you know how to do this business, it's actually very simple. At that time, there was no power to borrow. I went to the foot of the mountain, just a few old people to take a picture. Take it back to Singapore. To show the Singaporean leaders, look, there are many people at the foot of the mountain. There are 7 people in that photo. And 5 are customers. Prospective customers. They haven't bought yet. I said, there are people at the foot of the mountain now. Then take a picture of Singapore to the foot of the mountain. Hey, Singapore is doing well now. 5 people. But having people was everything, you understand? Back then, that was our whole world. When we produced that first video, just 1 single video, and I edited it myself, a product demonstration video showing how cows consume placenta. All those details, I did everything. Learning while doing, just like this PowerPoint today. I'm learning as I create. Normally I use Keynote more often. Not using Apple products now. Wonder if Apple will come after me for saying this. Now relearning PowerPoint. Haven't used PowerPoint in ages, starting fresh, learning while creating. Just now my friends asked me, these kinds of slides, you still make these presentations yourself? I replied, if I don't do it, who will? Don't you have staff to help? I said, you probably don't know who I am. I'm the one who taught them all. I do everything myself. This is exactly the difference between a leader and a boss. When I explained this, their eyes lit up with admiration. That feeling was incredible, you know? Of course, earning that right came at great cost. Creating that product video, when we truly had nothing, just having one video. Do you know how that felt? I knew this was RiWay's turning point. That single video would change everything for RiWay. When I showed our leaders, wow, this video is amazing. I made this myself. They agreed, yes, this works. RiWay's turning point. Now we have so many videos, nobody watches them all. Just check our Facebook today. The amount of content we have. Honestly overwhelming. When I ask, have you seen it? Which one? They haven't, because there's too many resources, flooding the market. This kind of training system, frankly. No other company worldwide does this. None, let alone hosting 9 sessions monthly across different regions. 9 full trainings every single month. Let alone RiWay's record of 120 sessions in 1 month. No one else could possibly achieve this. Each session carries tremendous power. Every single one transforms lives, altering countless destinies. Think this ends when the speech finishes? Someone will inevitably catch a life-changing insight today. Maybe Howland's words will resonate deeply, or Wanjun's sharing will resonate deeply, potentially redirecting someone's entire life path. Not everyone, of course. But if just 2 or 3 are transformed, that's enough. For those few lives, for these 5 speakers today, we willingly make this commitment at such great cost. This is RiWay's essence, 17 years of consistent dedication, quarterly sessions without fail. This phenomenon exists nowhere else in the world because it demands cumulative effort. Through this journey, we've built something truly precious. Let me tell you, those who can stand on this RiWay stage today as leaders, never mind their speaking skills, just being able to stand here. Numbers in the thousands. Thousands of them. Each has conquered their fears, embraced challenges. This is the hardest part. Speaking skills can be practiced and learned, that's manageable. But sustaining the scale? Only one company worldwide achieves this RiWay. From Singapore to Malaysia, we focused relentlessly on these 2 markets. Then came Thailand, later expanded within Malaysia, reaching other cities. Ipoh, Kuala Lumpur, Johor Bahru, Malacca. Gradually building strong foundations, we locked down each territory. This was actually after year 3. Those first 2 years, I was just on these 2 locations, Singapore and Bukit Mertajam. Every day people asked, "Boss, when are you opening in KL? Any plans for Kuala Lumpur? In Penang, what about KL? In Singapore, when will you launch in Indonesia?" Constant demands, but we stayed disciplined, focused on mastering one area, building core competencies, establishing solid foundations, deepening human connections, fully securing each territory. Then gradually in year 2, we entered Kuala Lumpur. Momentum accelerated. Suddenly across Malaysia, RiWay representatives everywhere. Even in remote villages, tiny fishing hamlets, you'd find RiWay product demos. Sometimes when I pass by, I witnessed RiWay members hosting product demonstrations everywhere. Malaysia's coverage was no joke back then. From Singapore to Malaysia. Taiwan experienced this too, right? Then came Thailand and Indonesia. After conquering Southeast Asia, we reached Taiwan. Later expanded to Japan. now operating in Korea and Philippines. And naturally, China followed. Don't ask if it's possible. We're already there. Nearly 200 flying horse achievers. That's why I say RiWay started in Asia, reversing the decades-old trend of Western MLM companies. They came from the Americas. We're expanding from Asia outward. Let's analyze Asia's direct selling landscape. These 12 markets collectively represent where traditional MLM companies operate. Now observe their market share. Here's Asia's MLM market distribution. Across these 12 countries, regions, these 12 districts, these 12 markets comprise Asia's entire direct selling industry. Beyond the top 5 we discussed, India holds 5%, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, Singapore, Hong Kong. You'll notice RiWay has presence in all 12, see? Complete market penetration across all 12. And it's highly active. RiWay operates vibrantly, with remarkable success. Take Taiwan, performing strongly. Malaysia excels. Singapore thrives. Modestly speaking, we're doing decently. Indonesia progresses well. Across all markets? Humbly said, not bad. Truthfully, top tier. But being top tier is already great. So we started in Asia. Currently, Asia represents just 40% of our potential. 60% growth space remains. This untapped 60%. Could it stay beyond our reach? Is it possible? Really possible? Let me rephrase. Those other 2 continents, beyond Asia, Europe, and Americas, will RiWay conquer them? Can we? Who says yes? Because I look Western? Yeah, I'm writing about Europe and the Americas. Nobody's done it. Expanding westward from Asia. Zero precedent. Ever seen it? Know any? Many came east. But going west? Not yet. Sure, opening an office there. Seems simple, right? But truly succeeding? Making it thrive? The cultural gaps, political differences, regulatory hurdles, even climate variations, the sheer geographical distance? Do you grasp the challenge? We're still mastering Asia, agree? Now consider this. When observing competitors operating in Asia, just succeeding in Asia alone is tremendously difficult. To truly excel across Asia is exceptionally rare. Many companies launch in Taiwan and never expand beyond it. Isn't that right? Breaking out is hard enough, let alone succeeding elsewhere. When I casually say Singapore does well, Malaysia thrives, Thailand succeeds, it sounds effortless. But do you know what 17 years of sacrifice this required? To build this Asian foundation, we paid every conceivable price. We'll pay whatever it takes. That's what was discussed in Japan on the 25th. The company. You must stay tuned. All for a price? No. I'm going to do it. That's the attitude. We've overcome a lot of obstacles. We're doing well in Asia. I'm going to give you what I've just told you. What I've just told you is actually what I'm trying to tell you. It's not to tell you that, wow, RiWay, how great is that? I'm trying to know your potential. I want to show you how high you can go. It's not your upline. It's not the top line. Your highest limit. If you're over here, if you work with the people in this place, where can you go? I just said it's not that. If you want to be big, you can have it. I said at the beginning, the company's pattern is your biggest pattern, right? I'm sure there will be people here who want to get bigger. There can't be no one, right? If you want to be big, how big do you want to be? The biggest is the world. It just so happens that there's one here who wants to go to the world. Just in time. And close. Not done yet? Better. Because he hasn't done it yet. Isn't that right? And if you do, well, you might be one of them. If you haven't done it yet, you hear about it now. You could be a very important person. Do you agree? Just like the early Taiwan. Just now, mister. There are 4 old men in Taiwan. I don't look old at all. And I'm handsome. Then there's Robin Hood, the god of Hood. Mr. He said Huandian is blushing and fat. This kind of guy, these guys, if we were to turn back the clock, today's time is reversed. Let you go back to 11 years ago. At that time, do you want this opportunity? Do you want it? But at that time, I believe their own confidence is also shaken. Isn't that right? OPP in a row. We've talked about OPP for so many people. And then there was a line. Hoya, who was in charge at the time. She was a manager at the time. She did everything. Taking in orders, picking up goods, solving problems, preparing for meetings. She was even shaken up. I don't know if I chose the right company. I don't know if they'll pay me next month. That's why you have to look at opportunities. You have to look at it from the right perspective, right? That's why they have vision, right? That's why they have vision. We're all in this together. They're the most important people in the world today. The organization is so big that they don't know everyone. Isn't that right? His organization is so big that he doesn't everyone. Do you know how hard it is? Sometimes there are 20 or 30 people in the organization. It's hard enough, isn't it? The people here, most of them are his people. I don't know everyone. When one day your organization is like this, okay? It's a very important person, that's what I mean. He's become a figurehead. He doesn't even know who his people are anymore. This is called a character, right? But today, whether RiWay can do it or not, you don't need to use your eyes. You just need eyes. Even if you don't have eyes, okay? It's okay if you have ears. You just need to be able to receive information. I don't know if I can smell. But you only need eyes to see. You can. I said that America has not yet begun. You said RiWay will not start. Will it? You've seen it with your eyes, haven't you? But of course we can't talk about it with our mouths. Let's prove it. You said we're doing well in Asia. How can we say that? We have more people, right? The organization has a lot of people. It's like this training session. We have 9 sessions this month. Don't talk about this month. I'll talk about last season. You have pictures from last season. There are no pictures for this month. I'll show you pictures from last season. This is Kuala Lumpur, Asia. This is Asia, Bangkok. This is Asia, Taipei. This is Asia, Hong Kong. How are we doing in Asia? Let's just look at the pictures. Okay? Then look around you. Look at the front and the left. How are we doing? Good. Because no one's done it before. We're the best. And we're way ahead of them, aren't we? Then look at this. It doesn't seem to be our race, does it? Yankees, Caucasians, our Polish leadership training program. If you had a magnifying glass right now, you'd notice. They're all foreigners. All Europeans. There are people from at least 10 European countries here. Today there's only Taiwan here. Imagine this side today. If there were 10 places, 10 different places. You know it's over today. You think it's over? No, today is a training session. We're learning something. You have to apply what you've learned. It does not stop here. Here to say we succeeded. It is a training session. Learning to use. This side will grow, right? They went back to their respective places. Each of the 10 places will grow. Especially over there. It's like a company like RiWay. There's basically no such thing. They're very, very precious. They're very, very hungry. They are very, very grateful. They spent the first day of the year with me. Europe. We, RiWay, we've managed to get in. It's been a long time of figuring things out. We've had a long time to figure it out again. We're losing people to cultural differences. What should we do to keep them? We've been trying to figure it out. We've come up with a set of results. And the one in Hungary on the 28th of this month. It will be 3 times bigger than this one. The number of people will be 3 times bigger than this one. That's why when I'm on stage today, a small show, maybe the Hungary show, it's even bigger than this one. It looks like Europe. You heard Europe. If you've been in RiWay for a while, it seems like Europe has just begun, right? Actually, it's been a while. It's been a few years. This miserable process of the past few years. For RiWay, it's been a terrible process for RiWay. But we still succeeded. We managed to buy a lot of people's hearts. We all become RiWay people, with RiWay blood in our veins, just like many people here. That's why I say, RiWays go to Europe in the opposite direction. There's an extra 22% in the opposite direction, right? Just now it's 40. Asia's 40, right? This side is 62 now. Is it possible? Can it go to America in the opposite direction? America? Will there be a RiWay to Brazil someday? Will there be a RiWay to Moscow? Will there be a RiWay to California? There will be. That would be the whole world. So RiWay has gone all over the world. So it's not there yet. We're still in the process. We overcame the hardest part. Now the ceiling. Your ceiling. It's even higher, isn't it? We've successfully raised it. We proved that RiWay's carrier can carry. We know. Maybe you'll sit here and say, oh my God, what's it to me if I'm Taiwanese? I'm Singaporean, what's it to me? I'm not American, I'm not European. Isn't that right? You're Taiwanese. You know another Taiwanese? You're the next Taiwanese. Taiwanese. Is it possible to have a Malaysian? Is it possible? Is it possible for a Malaysian to meet another Taiwanese and come back to Taiwan? Is it possible for someone from Taiwan to meet someone from Singapore? Is it possible? A Singaporean meets an American? Is it possible? How do you know? You don't know. It's like Europe today. The leader of the largest organization in Europe today is a Singaporean. It's the same Singaporean who used to lead one of our summit conferences, Summit in Europe. We met some people. We met people buying things, eating to meet people, meeting people in Singapore, meet Europeans. Back in a moment. The picture you just saw is of Europe. It's the organization of a young man not yet 30 years old. When he started RiWay, how could he have known? How could he have known? Just like you don't know now. So here's the key. It's the pattern and sealing of the place. Do you understand? If we didn't have this pattern and sealing, it would never be possible. But now with this, it's possible. I just want it to be possible, right? If it's possible, there's a chance. So what chance is the minimum? This number of chances. With this number has something to do. Actually, to be honest, RiWay doesn't even need to go there. It has a lot to do with this number. You think it was 10 years ago? We've been connected to this number since 10 years ago. We don't even need to talk about today. Every place is doing well. Okay, what I've just said is, I was talking about other markets. I was talking about something. You really need to get the market. It's the same as the definition of the market I talked about at the beginning. It's the place where transactions take place. The act of trading, right? Everything I've just said, it's all happened. It's happening to other people and to RiWay. It's possible that some of the people over here are involved in some. That's already happened. That's the past. We can only use the past as a reference. Let's move on. This so-called trading place. The act of trading, does it have anything to do with me? How should I relate to them? That's what's important to you, the future, right? What should I do in the future and in the present? What should I do? Lately, I've been traveling around the summit. Round and round, round and round. Starting with Taiwan. Taiwan, Japan, Korea, then Hong Kong. Then the Philippines. After East Asia, we'll go to Central and South Asia. Then South Asia, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia. After Singapore, Malaysia and Indonesia. Then Thailand, Myanmar, Vietnam, Cambodia. Then Poland. Hungary now has a German. And now the Czech Republic. And these are the places I'm running. Where there are offices, where there's a company, or where the company notices it, or places that we recognize. These are the places. That's what we need. I've mentioned in my recent run the need for a centralized operational model. In fact, all the people should be gathered in one place. Taipei office, right? We should gather in the Taipei office. There's an office in Taichung, right? We should gather in the Taichung office until there's no place to sit. We should sit on the floor. We'd have to sit on the stairs. When there are more people, the leaders are here. The cars are lined up properly. We can use the power. You're bringing in new people. There's a lot of leaders out there watching. They want to talk to you. It's a friendly environment. It's a nice environment. A lot of people like to come. You're afraid you won't get results. Our resources today, the biggest resource is people, right? Now in Kuala Lumpur, go to the Kuala Lumpur office. The office is occupied. It's getting crowded now. Andy, isn't it? It's getting crowded. You can start to see that people are getting together all the time. Gathering together is the operation of the center. It's like today when people get together. It has a lot of energy. The result is great. If you come to a meeting like this today, if you're not affected by it, it's okay. We'll try again next time. But most of them will be affected. It's because there aren't many venues like this. Isn't that right? There aren't many meetings like this anymore. So most of the people here will be affected. It's effective. It's working. This month, we're doing 10 meetings at once. There's no need for this. It's not like we're in the office. This is terrible. There should be so many people that there's no place to sit. We can talk on the floor or on the floor. Otherwise, we'll have to move chairs and tables outside. Go outside and talk. Add more chairs and tables. If that's not possible, we'll buy the land next to it. Take the main road. You'll bring a new person with you. Each of them will say a few words for you. Oh my God. We should tell the story of the dinosaurs. I didn't say that. You should have heard the dinosaur story. It's your personal opinion if you tell it alone. When a lot of people say it's okay, that's the truth, right? You brought it to a guy. He said, wow, Pertier, that's great. You bring it to a second person, and he tells you purifier is good. You bring some friends to the third person. He told him Pertier is good. You bring it to the 20th person, and you haven't even told him yet. He said, where to buy, where to buy. That's human nature. So this is the so-called center of operation. I've been promoting it lately. I want to take back this power. Soon you'll see a big change. But what am I talking about now? Another way of operation. Today I want to talk about, because the way the center operates can't be explained in a few words today. I can't explain it clearly. I'm going to talk about the places that are not RiWay. Those places that don't say it's easy, where it's not easy to gather a lot of people. It requires a lot of skills and fundamentals. The basic skills of this industry. So in the beginning, you have to learn this ability. You must lock the place. You must practice it in your own place. Practice what? Practice some abilities. Let's put it this way. When you want to develop another new market, you need to have 3 things. My name is Sanben. I think you've heard of my training sessions. Samber. The first is instinct. Instinct. You have to be able to do it yourself. What kind of ability? The ability to gather people. You can gather a group of people. Don't talk about 50 people, 100 people. 3 or 5. They'll follow you wherever you go. You come to the company and they sit in the company. We can work together. We can make phone calls together. We can play different roles together. Wait for that person to come, the new person, the customer. What role are you playing? What role are you playing? What's my role? Cooperate with us. Some of the people who can work with us in this way. In your organization, if there are 10, 15 or so, okay, I think I know what you're talking about. You have a certain ability. Because if you have 10, 15 people, that means you've got the problem-solving skills. Problem-solving skills are already there. It's not bad. Your level's already good. You have a problem-solving ability first. When you go to a new place, there's no upline. Without a leader to help you negotiate, you have to be able to do it yourself. Otherwise, you can't get to 10 or 15 people. Because when these people have problems, they will leave. They can't do it at all. That's why they're there. You've dealt with their problems. And I'll tell you what the good news is. The good news is, there's not a lot of them. They come and go. There's less than 50 direct marketing problems that come and go. Just a few, it's not that hard, and every single one of them. There's a lot of ways to do it and a lot of answers. You're just going to go where I say you lock up a place and refine locally. Accumulate these methods and answers first. When there's a problem, you have to come across it first. After you've encountered it yourself, you know exactly how you feel. Listen to the answers and methods. Accumulate all the ways you've encountered this problem. If you ask 20 people, you'll have 20 methods and answers. Accumulation. You have the ability to solve problems. Okay, and the ability to bring people together. When you have people, how do you bring them together? How do you lead them? How do you influence them? How do you teach them? You have to have those skills first. When you have these abilities, you'll have a second capital. It's called capital. Why do you have to have capital in the first place? Why I want you to lock up this place today? Because you're in the same place as yourself. You spend the least amount of money, right? You'll have no problems with food and shelter. You'll have no problem with food and shelter. If you can't make any money, you can borrow from your mom. You can borrow from friends and relatives. When you're unfamiliar with a place, when you're in a place, when you're away from your hometown, you don't have to live like this to ask for money. You can't sleep on the side of the road, can you? Hotels cost money. Airline tickets cost money. Money for food, money for everything. Every minute counts. If you don't have enough money on you, you're dead if you don't perform. You will become a negative number, not to say positive. Negative. If you can't do it here, you'll get 0, right? If you can't do it over there, you'll lose money. You'll owe money. That's why you must have some money in your pocket. Your income and your money are your results. Whether your performance is good or not depends on how much money you have in your pocket. Isn't that right? Does it matter if you have money in your pocket? Only a few people think it matters. Does it matter? Those who don't, I need you to give me. How can it not be important, right? How much money you have in your pocket. It's how much confidence you have. Would you believe it? You have no money in your pocket now. You walk into the Rolls-Royce showroom to have a look. The showroom, you walk in and try it. You don't even dare to go in at the door, I'm telling you, right? You've got 50 million in your pocket. Try going in again. When the guy looks at you, he looks at you. You might be wearing shorts and a tank top, but when he looks at you, he knows you're confident. He knows you can afford it. Because you have one more thing in your pocket. Money. What's the difference? You now have an extra $300,000 in your pocket. See if you can speak loudly. You speak very loudly, don't you? It doesn't have to be much. Do not say tens of millions of dollars. Look at these leaders. These leaders sitting in the front row. They've all gone through this process of transformation. They've gone through having no money until today. They know that the process, that transformation is so important. Isn't that right? From being poor and having no money at all, with a lot of debt, to today, you have so much confidence. You're telling me it's not important to have money in your pocket. It's impossible that it's not important to have money in your pocket. It's very, very important. Because of the firewood, rice, oil, salt, soy, vinegar, and tea. The things you have to learn. All the things you want to enjoy. Everything you want. It all takes money, doesn't it? Unless you're going to go straight up in the mountains. Unless you're going to cremate yourself in the mountains or something. I don't get it. There aren't many people like that. Normal people. Your kids need better education. What does your wife need to learn? It all takes money. Especially for the market. If you want to go to that market, you must have money first. How rich can you be? Enviable. Enviable. So why do we say, RiWay people all buy expensive cars? You go outside and see what kind of cars they have parked. Now you go outside to see. That's the way to go. Envious. You have to be envious. You can't say, oh, everyone else has it. Do you have one? This is more important. Get the power from inside. Go outside and look at the cars. Get some power out of it. That's what I want. Why? Because there's this thing, I know someone who needs it. He'll envy me. He'll follow me. Right? But it's a process. It's a process. You can't suddenly get a Rolls Royce. No, it's a process. If you want to know, please refer to one of my training sessions. It's called the Money Training Program. YouTube, lots of it. So you have money, confidence. You've got instincts. Now you have money. The third capital. You have to be there yourself. You yourself must be there. You don't go there once for a day. And then you don't see them for 2 months. And then contacted by WeChat. Line contact. You'll solve your problems in line. Don't waste your time. You're at your place. You have to be there. And what so you say? What if I'm in the same place as you? That's why I said not to run too many places. At first, until they can really be independent. That takes a long, long road. For me, today my Pegasus 9 isn't even independent. Would you believe it? In my eyes, he'll never be independent. Why? Because you're growing and he's growing. He's growing and you're growing faster. So it's always going to be like when you look at your kid, always a child, right? There's never a time. That's why you have to calculate how much time you have. How much time do you have for yourself? That's why I usually say I have to be in to what extent. You can't let that person, you have to make that person feel that you haven't left. You're the one who's there. I used to be at the foot of the mountain. People thought I was at the foot of the mountain. I'm from the foothills. When I was in Singapore, they said, I'm in Singapore. They went to Singapore to look for me, and I showed up. When the Bigfoot people are looking for me, I show up. That is, I run very often. So often that I drove there in the morning. I had lunch with someone, and then came back to Singapore, have dinner with that Singaporean, and then go back again, having breakfast with that person that often. They didn't think I'd left, so I'm the first to know what's wrong with them. I'm the first to solve the problem. I'm the first to keep the organization. This positive, there's absolutely no chance of possibility for it. It's always been like this. Whenever there's a problem to deal with, everyone is motivated. Even if they're a bunch of old men, they're all full of blood. Why? Because I'm here. Why? Because I've got the instincts. And I'm here. That's what I'm talking about. Everything I just said is that this thing is in a place that doesn't have RiWay. Where there is no RiWay. Sorry, that's where there's no RiWay. Where there's RiWay. I'm going to take you to the company. Take someone to the office. It's better to have a car. Go to have dinner with your friends. Say, hey, let's go to get a cup of coffee later, okay? Let's go for coffee. Hey, why don't you accompany me to the office? I'm going to the office to get something. Get in the car and go straight to the office, right? Those big leaders are all sitting over there. Bam, bam, they're all waiting over there. Okay? Okay. A couple of Rolls Royces are parked over there. It doesn't affect anyone. Each of these people has made billions of dollars. Each of them has made billions of dollars. Go out and ask any businessman. Any one of them, you go outside later, see that convenience store, or the carpenter who sells wood, or anyone else. You go over there. Excuse me, boss, do you want billions for your business? Do you want it? Do you think he wants it? Who doesn't? Is he running a business to lose money? That's impossible. Did he start a business to make a small profit? That's impossible. He can be that big. He wants to be that big too. No, he doesn't. There's a limit to what he can do. There's a limit to what he can do. There's no company in Asia. No company in Asia has a cap big enough for RiWay. That's why it's a system, our allotment. It is possible to earn the most money, but only if you have a track record. Provided you have performance, your income is the highest. The same goes for you out there. You want to make money? You need to have a track record. You need to have a track record. Then it's all about the income, the same performance. You make 100 million, I make 100 million. How much do I make here? How much do you make over there? Let's compare to prove that our system is better. Then we can compare the market. RiWay's cap is now at this level. And it's highly probable that he can remove the whole world. Because it has already succeeded in entering. Isn't that right? So the system is like this. I have 4 more behind me. To prove that this is the biggest business opportunity of the century. I'll end with a story. It's been a long time since I told this story. But I think it's important. Have you heard of this fishing story? There was once a man fishing in the middle of a lake. Fishing in the middle of the lake. He caught a fish. He put the fish in the basket behind him. He kept fishing and caught a fish. He puts it in the back basket, and he kept fishing. All of a sudden, he hears a voice. Dude, he's like, somebody's calling him. There's no one in the middle of the lake. So he thinks he's just going to ignore his fantasies. He keeps fishing. And then all of a sudden, the voice comes back. At this point, and he realized that in the basket, there was a fish talking to him. What did the fish say? It said, dude, you let me down? If you let me down, I'll give you 3 wishes. All right. Hey, guys. If a fish told you this today, would you believe it? A fish told you this today. Would you believe it? Are you sure? You must believe it, everyone. Fish. Can fish talk? No, it doesn't. The fish is talking to you. Dude, what are you wishing for? You have to believe it, because this is no an ordinary fish, right? It's a fairy fish, isn't it? Wow, he is so happy. He said he finally has a chance to come this time. This is his chance. He's going to take this chance. He said, this time, I have to seize this opportunity this time. He said, 3 is not enough. I want 10. Is that smart? Smart? The fish told him, my life is in your hands now, isn't it? I'll give you as many as I can. Is that right? I can only give you 3. In that case, okay, 9. I told you I can only give you 3. 8. I can give you 8. Hurry up, it said. Okay, 7. Okay, 6, 5. 4. Okay, 3.5. Okay, 3 is okay. Turn around and look at the dead fish. What's the story about? It's about when an opportunity comes Sometimes along. We're in a situation like this. In this kind of atmosphere, to show you that opportunity, it is not a simple thing. When you see it, your decision should not be too slow. You have to quickly seize the opportunity, quickly to find out more answers. Don't do this half and half. Maybe you're thinking, oh, RiWay, it's always there. You'll say this is an opportunity next year. You'll say it's an opportunity the year after next. It's always the same as you said. The opportunity is always there. Yes, it's always there. Except for RiWay, there are always opportunities outside. But if you can't catch the first opportunity today, you can't catch the second one, and you can't catch the third one. What I'm most afraid of is you've accumulated a very bad habit. Slowly, one by one, the chances in your eyes One by one, you'll lose them. Until you get old. How many people live their whole life today? All they do is talk about, I should have known. Early to know. So I hope what I've shared today, I hope you've gained something from what I've shared today. That's all I have to say. Thank you all for your time. Thanks. Thank you all.